Oh yes, you are welcome back to African Colonization TV and Biafran History. This is the issue concerning Goodluck Jonathan, where he addressed a lot of people that is in Senate, presidency, and UN body. That he addressed all of them concerning this issue of problem every day in Nigeria and the issue of division in Nigeria. In fact, in this conference, he said a lot of things concerning the being of Nigeria, if Nigeria can still keep existing, or if Nigeria will not be existing anymore. So that let them do the needful. In fact, he really explained a lot of things concerning Nigeria division, unity, and a lot of them. Don't skip any part of it. Try to watch it for you to understand everything that is happening in this video. So according to the heading, it says, let's separate in peace, I beg. Goodluck Jonathan tells US Congress on Nigerian division and about the genocide going on in Nigeria as of today. So it is about the thing that is happening every day in this country. If you can see this issue of Christian being massacred every day in the country, genocide everywhere, no peace, no unity, no love, and the consequences in it. So he addressed the UN body, the world, and the other countries, both US. What is going on in Nigeria? It is better for the country to separate in peace instead of to separate in war and in destruction. That if it is not okay again for Nigeria to remain as one, it is better for everyone to separate in peace without any bloodshed again. In fact, he really explained a lot of things in this video. Make sure you watch it to the end. It's being spoken by Goodluck Jonathan in the conference they made recently in Abuja concerning this issue of division or no division. As you're about to watch, like, subscribe, and share it for everyone to see things happening in Nigeria.
Igbo quest for Nigeria's unity. These are things that agitate my mind. I started thinking about how we've been having this conversation about the unity of Nigeria. And I reflect back at some of the prominent statements made by some of our founding leaders. And I feel that probably this will help us to have the conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought four, not to bore you. First, and I quote, not my statement, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries, of Nigeria from those who do not. This is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, it is true that we politicians always delight in talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria. 60 years ago, there was no country called Nigeria. What is now Nigeria consisted of several large and small communities, all of which were different in their outlooks and beliefs. The advent of the British and that of Western education has not materially altered the situation, and the many and varied communities have not knit themselves into a composite unit. This is accredited to Sir Amadu Bello, former Premier of Northern Region. The third, and I quote, since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country. But the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. The Nigerian unity is only a British intention for the country. This is was said by Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, the former Prime Minister. The fourth and the last, let me not bore you. and I quote, "Each of our three regions is vastly different in many respects, but each has this in common, that despite variety of languages and custom, or differences in climate, all form part of one country which has existed as a political and social entity."
In northern Nigeria on high alert as US Congress set to propose Niger breakup. So guys, before we get into this video, if you've been following the news, you must have heard that the US lawmakers, some of them are set to be proposing, Trump splitting Nigeria into two. This is coming after US gave Nigeria a condition, and that condition is to remove the Sharia law from the constitution. That came with a whole lot of resistance. The northerners are saying never, that the Sharia law has come to stay, it has come to stay. And now it is being said that one of the proposals, to be pushed to Trump is to split Nigeria so that the north, which is dominantly Muslims, can practice their Sharia law, freely, while the south, which is dominantly Christians, can practice their Christianity safely. So guys, a whole lot of reactions have followed this, considering the fact that many northerners are sympathetic with the terrorists who are ravaging the country. You ask me why you don't see Boko Haram members, ISWAP members facing the law. How many of them have appeared before courts? How many of them are sentenced to jail? Rather, we see them being rehabilitated. When caught, they are rehabilitated like they told us, and sent back into the society, and also sent back into the military. Like we heard some military men raising alarm recently that integrated Boko Haram into the military they are leaking the information in the military. Anyway, that's not even the topic. Now the US is set to be proposing Nigeria breakup. Now before we get into this video, don't also forget that a former commander who is also a Yoruba man told Tinubu that the best thing he can do for Nigeria is to gather the courage to split Nigeria, because as for Islamization of Nigeria, that it is a done deal, that there's a lot of money being pushed to that, and the people behind it are very powerful. He said they are powerful individuals. That is, it's not even the terrorists. The terrorists are just the instruments they use to implement it. But the people who are actually pushing for the Islamization of Nigeria, that they are very powerful institutions. That if Tinubu can get the courage, then he should just split the country so that the north can be on its own, the south can be on its own. This is coming from a former naval commander who is also a Yoruba man who is, said to have been involved in a researching insecurity that is going on in Nigeria. Raymore, which is one of the US lawmakers, he's one of the people actually, proposing to Trump on what to do as regards to Nigerian insecurity. He posted this just a few hours ago, and he says, horrific news. Armed radical Muslim Fulani attacked 3 churches yesterday and kidnapped more than 100 Christian worshippers. This happened on Sunday, this Sunday that just passed. He went ahead to say, our brothers and sisters in Christ are facing an existential threat at the hands of the Fulani militants. More must be done to protect them. And I urge the Nigerian government to ensure the swift and safe return of all those who were captured. This is coming from Raymore. So guys, you can see why the US is like looking into Nigeria should split into two, because nobody will want to say Nigeria should split into two. But when you have a country where these Fulanis, they will just mess up people's lives, they don't face the law, they are never jailed, they are never called out, even when arrested, they will get called to release them. We have heard a police commander from Zamfara saying they arrested bandits, they sent them to Abuja. Before they knew it, they've all been released even without him knowing. That tells you that we have sympathizers of these people all over the places. And now the US is looking at the possibility of splitting Nigeria into two so that the North can fully practice Sharia law. Because I believe Sharia law permits them to buy people, you are going to get 70 virgins. I don't think the Sharia law is against that, because it is said that in Islam, if they preach to you and you refuse to be converted, they are mandated to buy you or collect taxes from you. So it's either you pay them as you become a slave, work and pay them, or your life is gone because you rejected Islam. So guys, there are a lot of things why the country, and now look at it, the North is directly or indirectly trying to declare Nigeria an Islamic state. If you've seen the Nigerian military logo, there is an Islamic inscription there. If you see some of our Naira notes, there are Islamic inscriptions on them. Now I'm going to allow you to listen just a little bit from this Yoruba commander, a former. Why I'm calling it, because if it's an Igbo man, you say, oh, it's an Igbo man. This is somebody who has done so much research. He's a well-learned man. Currently, he is a VC of a university, so he has retired. He has now gone into into, becoming a VC of an institution, a tertiary institution. But just to let you know that he's a well-learned man, he came out telling Tinubu, see, the best thing you can do for Nigeria, summon the courage, split the country. I've been in the military, I've been in the force, I've investigated Boko Haram and Islamic State, whatever, all the activities. I know much. He's the one that said that there are many people in Buhari's government who are sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria. And now he's on retirement, but he's now telling Tinubu, divide the country if you really want Nigeria to survive. And now the US is also looking at the possibility of splitting Nigeria so that the South can be on its own and practice its religion safely, while the Northerners, if they want to embrace Sharia law, they should go full-time embrace Sharia law. So guys, I'm just going to allow you to take a look at this video.
This level, Nigerians are so uneducated when it comes to religion. They are the Arabs, the British, the Romans. They use religion actually to capture your state, to enslave you. We look at most of religions, I don't want to be specific, they all practice slavery. And also, so for us to be at this point where we're supposed to be talking about the hunger that is pervasive in Nigeria today, the inflation rate, the poverty, we are basically sitting in the hallowed chamber, and what we can discuss is that they want to remove personal from something, and that's what they are going there to do. When people are dying, people are committing suicide, families are collapsing, and they will sit down there and start talking about removing personal so that they can basically Islamize the country finally, because once you remove that personal, technically now Nigeria is Islamized.
All right, I want to be able to get the understanding of that, because the sections that the places that they were looking for amendments to, sections 24, 262, 277, and 288. And what I'm seeing here, Ali Musao, at the time when he suggested these changes in the 1999 Constitution, removing the word personal whenever it is mentioned from the section, allowing Islamic law to stand on its own. Explain to me the correlation between that and Islamizing the country, just so we can understand where you're coming from on this debate.
Yeah, where I'm coming from is very simple. We may think it's semantic, but it is not. Personal just talk about issue of marriage, things that are personal, maybe inheritance, maybe divorce, But if you look at the antecedents, Sanfala started this by introducing something that is taking care of criminal laws. Okay? So now they want to extend it. Instead of them to actually discuss the 1999 Constitution, it is a fraud already. That Constitution is a fraud. Now what you are doing now, you want to start, advancing the interest of those religious groups to actually now confirm that Nigeria is an Islamic state. And let me tell you something that people don't know. This thing was caused by the British. Between 1900 and 1960, they knew that they cannot govern the North except they allowed them to practice their religion, and they were using their religious leader to basically govern them. It is called indirect rule. Immediately after independence, 1960, the British knew that they shouldn't have forged these two people together. They know. But because they want to achieve the divide and rule and to be able to conquer and take our resources and steal whatever they want to steal over the years, they merged these two people together. They could not govern the North and South under one religious or administration. They know. So they now give independent and match you people to work together. That was why the 1960 coup started. That was how the Civil War started. Now, 86, Babangida came with the OIC stuff, tried to Islamize us. It didn't work. In 2000, when 1999-2000, when Obasanjo came, he permitted them to start practicing Sharia. Today now, they want to consolidate it. Once you remove that person, All of us, whether you are Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Jukun, Christian, traditional, you are now under the law, the Islamic law, because they put it in the constitution.
In fact, listening to the member that was representing Ahoda East, Abu Anudua Federal Constituency, River State, I want to get his words. He said personal matters that was envisaged, he says, by the people who drafted this constitution. And I want to quote him. The implication is, if the word personal is removed, Islamic law would have broader implications. The word personal was put there for a reason. Let's talk a bit about this whole conversation about Islamizing the country with our population and our dynamics. You know, is it possible that someone can sneak this in at some point and force all of us under some sort of regulation that we do not ascribe to? Is it possible that this can happen in this country?
It is possible, and don't be deceived. It's going to happen. Do you know Constantinople? Today's Turkey? They were almost 98% Christian before now. Today, it's an Islamic country. I did Islam in my master's program, and I was trained by Professor Alijani. He's a Persian. He's an Iranian American. And I scored A. That's excellent in Islam. So I know them. It may take them 1,000 years to Islamize Nigeria. So they will take it slowly, gradually. They don't forget. All of us will be dead after some time. Our children that don't care, or this Gen Z will come. They will still Islamize this country. If they can do it in Turkey, today's Turkey, what stops you? Why do you think they won't do it here? Except we take steps now, because we are the ones that are talking about these things. Our next generation in 50 years will not even care. You understand? So I'm thinking that if some part of the country, I don't want to be specific, if they feel strongly about an ideology, a religious, but I think they can restrict it to their area. And I think maybe Tinubu should do well by developing this issue of regional autonomy where everybody should organize themselves, or at worst, let the country actually go apart, and you can do whatever you want in your area. I've come to that conclusion that I don't think we can stay together because of this very strong belief about religion. So it's either we stay together, or people should mind their religion and stay where they are and practice what they want. Imposing it on others is wrong. I study Islam, and I don't want to talk blasphemy here. If I start talking about Islam in the next 3 hours, we will not live here.
No, we don't want you to talk blasphemy either. Talking about our country, in many, we are not a religious country, so to on paper. We're a secular nation. What kinds of conversations should we be having with the Nigerian people, especially the younger generation, about how to ensure that we remain secular, where you can practice your religion in any part of the country that you please without imposing your views or belief systems on any other person? What kind of conversations should we be having, and what should our lawmakers be thinking at the back of their minds? At least they've made the first step, which is dropping this bill and ensuring that it doesn't go through. But in subsequent conversations that you said will inevitably come up, what should we be doing as a people to ensure this doesn't happen?
I'm going to be extreme. For me, if you look at Sudan, we have now North Sudan, South Sudan. I think we should have Northern Nigeria and Southern. Then they can practice whatever they want. There's no dialogue because they will not stop. I've told you it may take 1,000 years. They will still do it. But if you let everybody go their way, maybe you have the North, they remain there, and you have the sovereignty down south, then you can do what you want. But if you remain and you think you can talk to your Jersey and people that don't care about anything, it will happen. It took Hundreds of years before Turkey, Constantinople, Istanbul was converted completely today. And if you look at history will tell you that you cannot assuage these people. People have been sponsoring terrorism because they want to Islamize Nigeria. Now Tinubu has come, and it's a little bit very hard on them. That section, the kinetic approach is failing. So they are now trying to bring it through the constitution, want to legalize it. If we cannot go through the bush and kill as many people and they are still resisting us, and this man has come and is fighting this is just killing all the fighters, then let us go to the house and bring it in through the back door. We just remove that clause, personal. They will not know, they may not pay attention. They will just, and that is it. They will still do this thing. So people should try to understand we are not the same people. The North and South are not the same. The British understood. That's why they are doing indirect war, and they deliberately merge us so that we can continue to fight like this, and they can continue to take our resources away.
Speaking about the British, there are several theories out there in terms of all of this Chatham House moves and why our leaders always go to the West before elections. Do you think that the influence of the British about this particular matter and more is significant? Has it waned? Is it still growing? What should be done about it?
No, what the British did is just like what the Belgians, the other, like the French, is the same method of giving you independence, but they know that you are not independent. Why do you go to Chatham House? Igbo recently wanted to talk about Yoruba nation. I saw him in Britain trying to give them letter. Why do we do that? It's because they have very strong influence. Don't be deceived. British are very subtle. They're not like the French people. They're not like the Russians. Okay, they're not like the Chinese. Very subtle, very clever. They are the one that is making this happen because it benefits them. You can't be Nigerian president if you don't get the blessing of the British.
What is their benefit, though?
I mean, the British benefit?
Yeah.
It's economy. There's no other thing. It's just to be able to take your resources. Look at Sanfara. Look at all your gold and things that are mining every day. It's not going to the CBN coffers. It's going to individuals and the British and the Arabs also that are actually orchestrating some of these Islamic things you are seeing. They are external. They are sponsoring these narratives, and they are benefiting by taking your resources away because they have some foolish Nigerians that they can use to help them to cut away your uranium, your gold, your silver, and so on. That's why all the time we never get leadership right.
Any day that all of you gang up to support your one Nigeria garbage, the more you're digging your collective graves. Nigeria can never ever be fixed. It's broken beyond repair. Can never be fixed. Look at Sultan of Sokoto talking rubbish. This spiritual leader, whatever rubbish he is of the zoo, Sultan of Sokoto, that he was in the army, that war is not good. But you Fulanis are the ones living war on everybody. You took over the whole of Plateau. You came down into Benue. Your people were at also one massacring people. Then you never talked about war. As soon as we rose up and said enough is enough, now this war language starts to come into your lips. Do you think we are foolish? Do you think go and bring all the BBCs of this world, every propagandist for neo-colonialists, gang them, bring them together against Biafra agitation? You're wasting your time. Bring them against ESN, you're wasting your time. Arrest all you like, but I'm just warning them. If you're a policeman involved in the arrest of innocent people, all I need to do is to go down on my knees and pray and ask God, please, may unknown gunmen locate you and they will find you. Because God answers my prayers. So all those police stations involved in all this raid know that your turn is coming. It's only a matter of time, it will come. Since you want anarchy, you will get anarchy. Since that is what you want. You people, you don't like people that play it gently by the rules. No, not in the zoo. That is how you have been taking over our land, raping our women, abducting us and killing us. You came out at some point, you killed us for no reason. Shia people came out at Abuja, you shot them for no reason, for no discernible reason.
Oh yes. This is a very shocking news and a very very shocking report. And all the analysts that speak in the video, Goodluck Jonathan, his speech during the conference, and the analyst that also said a lot of things about the Sharia or no Sharia, and the plan of Islamization in Nigeria. So it is not something that it is not happening, or how is it happening? And then if you look down very well, the cause of all those things is the Britain. He has already said it all, that the cause of it is the Britain, the British, the UK. They are the beneficiary of all this thing that is happening, because no matter how it is, they will still gain, and they will still gain more. Because even though Nigeria today, everybody in Nigeria buy one night, their happiness is that they should come and they take the whole land and they take the resources. That is their plan. There is nothing else. And the main reason why Nigeria is not being governed very well, or the country is not okay today, is because of the bidding. They are, all of them, they are doing the bidding of the Britain, and they are doing everything they can do so that they will be in power by all means, whether the people like it or not. They will press themselves on the people, just like what happened during the campaign of Tinubu and Obi. Everybody saw everything the way it is. So even though you go to court after the election, you are your own. After all, the country is too corrupt to the extent that the judiciary, they can buy the judiciary as long as you have the money, and as long as you are part of the politician. That is what is there in Nigeria. In fact, and that is why you see this issue of Boko Haram, terrorism, and the rest of them is climbing up every day. And since all those things, all those why those people have been buying people here and there, you have not seen them. None of them that anybody have seen that they arrange them in court, they bring them to court and judge them, and they say, yes, look at the crime they committed. Nobody. Instead of it, what we used to hear is about rehabilitation, that they rehabilitate them back to the society, that they bring them back to the society, or they take them into the soldier, and also they take them into give them amnesty. All those things is what we used to hear, but nobody that we have heard that yes, they sentence so person either life imprisonment, or they sentence him death by hanging, or they sentence him by firing by squad. So all those things, it is only one news everybody is still thinking to today. How come a person that is raising the alarm, that is telling you the secrets, and as it is, as he said it here in this channel, that is telling you everything, is only him that we have seen that they sentence life imprisonment, which is Mazen Namdekano Onyendu. So no matter anything other people do, the world sees them as a terrorist. As for the government of Nigeria, they see those people as a normal human being that is doing their bid for them, and that is doing normal business like other people are doing. In fact, it is very, very shocking and very heart touching, because how come a terrorist, a bandit, a thief, a criminal, a killer will be the people that the government will accept and call them a saint? But why the person that did not even commit anything, that is raising the alarm and is calling for help international, and is telling everybody, look at what is happening and look at what is going on, is this person you people went to Kenya and kidnap him, bring him back to Nigeria, and make sure everything that you sentence him, and without due process you sentence him by all means, due to is telling you what you are doing that is evil in this country. In fact, a lot is happening. Well, I would like to hear your comment. I mean, what do you think about the whole thing that is going on in Nigeria? Like, subscribe, and share it. Let everyone see what is happening. We say thank you for watching.